and thanks for watching this next toolbox video on reading the Bible with friends in evangelism. I'm encouraged that you've even clicked on this video because it probably means that you're not immediately switched off by the idea of reading the Bible one-to-one or in a small group with your not yet believing friends and family. Or maybe you just wanted to see my awkward face on a video again. Either way, reading the Bible one-to-one with an unbeliever is by far my favourite way of doing evangelism. When I say reading the Bible specifically, I mean reading one of the Gospels together. So here are 3 reasons why. God speaks through his word. It's powerful, not just for Christians, but also for people who aren't yet Christians. So the Gospels in particular were literally written for the purpose of bringing people to faith in Jesus. John in his Gospel, for example, in chapter 20, verse 31 says, "These things are written that you may believe Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name." Second, they're interactive. Our friends get to engage with Jesus for themselves, asking their own questions of him and getting to know him. Lots of unbelievers that I know are disillusioned with religion or their perception of Christianity, but few of them have any idea of what Jesus is actually like. And when they read about him and find out, then often they're captivated. I remember one study I did with a Chinese student, and straight after she'd read the story of Jesus turning water into wine, she looked up at me and smiled in wonder and said, "Wow, Jesus is very powerful." I remember the joy I felt in seeing another friend, having read the story of Jesus healing the paralysed man in Luke 5, understand that actually the greater miracle was that Jesus had forgiven the man's sin. Thirdly, I found it also to be the most effective way of doing evangelism. Evangelism works best when it's relational and when we recognise someone's journey to faith as a process, not necessarily something that they will understand and be able to commit their lives to straight away. But reading the Bible with someone is a nice dynamic because you're both reading the same things together. There's not kind of a sense of hierarchy and we don't come across as the know-it-all Christian. But when we meet with someone over a period of weeks and months, discovering more of Jesus together every time, then it feels like we're on that journey together. Not us talking down to someone, telling them the truth, but someone actually just discovering the truth for themselves. So then, practically, how do we do it? Well, I think asking someone to read the Bible with you is actually the hardest part. We build it up as this massive thing in our minds of, oh, but they think I'm weird, and we're crippled by this fear of rejection that, oh, they'll say no. And I'm not advocating that we ask every single one of our friends to read the Bible one-to-one with us. It might not be suitable for all of your friends, depending on their openness to Jesus. But for those who I've thought might be interested, I've been surprised by their response. Often even their glee and excitement at the idea. Over the last 4 years, I've probably asked about 15 people, and all of them, apart from one person, said yes, and that was my brother. But usually, real friends are interested in what you're interested in. So to ask, then I'll be in the middle of a conversation with someone somewhat related to Jesus or Christianity, and I'll sense an opportunity, and I'll usually just say something like, "Would you be interested in finding out more about Jesus? Or would you be up for meeting up to actually read some of the Bible together?" One of the reasons why I think we find this kind of stuff scary is because we think we wouldn't know what passages to go through, or we wouldn't know what questions to ask. So the resource that I normally used is called Uncover, which is just one of the Gospels. This one's Mark, accompanied by about 6 Bible studies focusing on a particular story of Jesus, and it comes with its own questions, which are designed for seekers. So I find this best because it's easy to use, it doesn't require any advanced preparation or specialist knowledge. The questions are clearly laid out for you, they're engaging, they're Jesus focused, and they mean that you just read them out and just help facilitate the discussion, really. By the way, as a side note, if anyone would like to start doing these studies or just want to look at them, then I can send you some, just ask me, or I can send you them through the website. They're available online. But not everyone, by the end of regular meetups or however far you get through, you don't always get through all 6 studies with people, not everyone makes the response we hope they will in becoming a Christian. But they will know who Jesus is a lot better than they did before, and they will have seen that faith in Jesus is reasonable, historical, and life-changing, which are all seeds that God could be using on a journey to bring them to faith later in life. From my experience, I found that people actually enjoy reading the Bible and they find it interesting, even if just as a historical document, and they're grateful to have had the opportunity to read it with a Christian. So I wonder if, as a follow-up from this toolbox, you might now just think and pray about 3 friends who you might be able to ask to read the Bible with you. And then pray for them. And be accountable in that. Ask a Christian friend, maybe your Fight Club partner, to pray with them for you, or ask me, I'd love to pray with you for them. And then be bold and step out and look for an opportunity to ask them.